Hi, guys. Welcome to ChemoGlow, where the glow doesn't define me. I define the glow. I'm so really excited tonight about my guest. She's such a special person to me. And I say I'm excited all the time, but guys, you just don't understand. When you meet someone, you know how wonderful they're going to be in your life. And she's just one of those people. So I just had to say that before I start my little open monologue. I'm really, really excited. So let's go back. Check out ChemoGlow where podcasts are available, guys. We are everywhere from Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible. It's not hard to find us. So please check us out. We're actually live on YouTube, Twitter. You can find us. I have a couple of screens going on, so I know we're live. I know we're working there. Go ahead and hit subscribe. Hit that like button. Leave us a comment. Now we're going into May. And if you guys want to share your glow, please email us at chemoglow@gmail.com. It is May already, and we have 2 more lives before we take a little break in June. So next week we have Dr. Jacqueline Gaddy with UNC. She is a fellow, and I cannot wait to speak with her. And then we'll round out the month with Dr. Carol Weaver. She is an author, breast cancer survivor, motivational speaker, and she has this great book called Pies to Die For. You have to check her out. Now, my guest tonight, again, I said she's very special to me. Let's check out a quick video.
I've always been active. I exercise, I eat healthy. It was 2017. My house had a long flight of stairs, and when I went up that stairs, I was, kind of out of breath, and my heart was also beating fast when I laid down to go to bed. So then I called my doctor, and I wanted to go in for just a physical to see what's going on. They saw something on the x-rays. And the pulmonologist said, yeah, it's lung cancer. You need to go see a oncologist. My husband and I just held each other and cried. I was so angry. I was angry because why? Why lung cancer? I'm not a smoker. And that time I didn't know that you can get lung cancer even if you don't smoke. I was diagnosed with stage 4 non-small cell lung cancer with a mutation. I am very thankful because without research, without this type of treatment, I can't imagine. I don't think I'll be here today. It's been almost 2.5 years. I can still garden, I can still exercise, I can still cook. I come from research, I'm a research scientist. Maybe we can't cure cancer, but at least we can live with cancer. We need more research, we need more funding. I have 2 wonderful daughters. I want to see them graduate from high school, graduate from college. I want to see them get married. I want to hold grandchildren. I'm sure everyone wants that, right? We want to live.
Hi. Welcome, my guest, Phuong Huynh. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. That video always brings tears to my eyes.
The one thing I forgot to tell you to grab is some tissue. That video is so special. And when you made that video, how long ago was that?
That was last summer.
Last summer. And you said that, go ahead.
That was for the gala for North Carolina initiative of lung cancer initiative.
Mm-hmm.
That's a video that I made to promote, for the gala for funding for research for lung cancer. That was last summer.
Last summer. And you said one of the things that you definitely wanted to see is your daughter graduate. And this weekend, I think I have a picture of it. She did.
Yes, I made it. We made it. We made
We
it.
made it. We made it. Oh, that was such a wonderful Mother's Day gift to you.
It was. I can't believe 4 year had flew by. And, when I moved her in first year, August, still remember, August I moved her in, September I was diagnosed. So, yeah, so 4 year had went by and I made it. Well, it won't be my 4 year until September, but, she
Uh-huh.
graduated. So this September will be my 4 year.
4 years.
Yeah.
I am so happy that we met each other. And before we get into how we met, let's talk a little bit about your diagnosis and when you were diagnosed. So you said that you were feeling a little, out of breath, and you decided to go to the doctor. Just elaborate a little bit more on that.
Yeah, so it was summer of 2017, and I've always been active. I was actually doing boot camp at that time, getting up at 6 o'clock, doing boot camp before I go to work. And as I mentioned in my video, I was a research scientist, so working at as a data review at that time for a company that does research and development for pharmaceutical. And when I was working out at the boot camp for mom, I realized when I was running, I was like, I can't run as much. I was out of breath. And when I walked up the flight of stairs at my home, I would have a little short of breath. And, I feel kind of off. But then I thought, maybe I need to exercise harder. Am I out of shape? Am I getting older?
Mm-hmm.
But I went ahead and I also had like the dry cough that I mentioned. Like it's just sporadic cough, not coughing any mucus, and that's something that I learned that if you have dry cough that prolong without production of mucus, pay attention to that. For me, it was just, oh, why am I having this cough? Is it a summer cold? Is it what? A lot of question, like it's what's going on with you with yourself that's out of the ordinary. But it did send me to the doctor, and I went in for a checkup, just a physical visit, and just telling my doctor that maybe I had my grandfather who passed because of lung cancer,
Mm-hmm.
and an aunt that had breast cancer. So my doctor said, let's go in for an X-ray just to be sure. I'm sure it's nothing, but go ahead and go in. And again, X-ray, PET scan, CT scan, and biopsy,
All the things.
all the thing. Yeah, and it just confirmed that it was when I still remember the story when I went in, and my pulmonologist thought it's TB, quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
So he was mad that I was in quarantine when I went in for the biopsy, and he was like, I was in quarantine, and then he's like, oh, I should have been quarantined because he was worried that it was TB.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I would have been lucky if it was TB, but it wasn't TB. And even when I went in for the PET scan, the doctor was like assuring me, oh, it's nothing. You have a clean bill of health.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't worry, but that wasn't the case.
And at the time, your daughters were 18 and 13.
Yes, at that time, I just sent my older one, to college, first year, and she was 18, and my younger one was 13. And I was 43, and I thought I was young and healthy.
Yeah, in the description I put up there that you had you felt like everything was good. You had a great life. One of your friends reminded you, wow, you and your husband at the time. How long were you married? What, 21 years?
Oh yeah, I met my husband when I was 17, and we got married when I was 25. So it's been a long time. And I thought, my sister told me, your life is posh. You have financially you're in a good place, and your children are doing, your girls are doing great.
Yeah.
And we were ready to just the kids are older now. You can enjoy life, right? You can enjoy each other. And your life is posh. And I thought, yeah, she's right. I am lucky. I'm a lucky lady, you know? But that September 15, 2017 just changed everything. My world was upside down. My husband and I, after we got the call from the pulmonologist, and he said, "Do you want to come in, or you want to hear this over the phone?" And I said, my husband was right there with me, and we had the phone on speaker, and we said, "Yeah, just tell me, we're ready." And because we didn't think that it would be. But when he said the C word, my husband held me and we cried, and I was mad. I was really mad. I remember myself after getting the paperwork from the bronchoscopy where they give you documentation of what's, and even though it said preliminary data, I read it and I remember crying and throwing the paper across the room. And I'm like, how could this be? I'm healthy. I don't have any illness, and why would cancer?
And being diagnosed with lung cancer, there's a stigma to it, right?
Yes.
And there's a stigma. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Even myself at that time when I was diagnosed, I wasn't aware that, if you're a non-smoker or never smoke, you can get lung cancer. And that was my thought at the time. Lung cancer, why? I don't smoke. I never smoked a single cigarette in my life. Why would I have lung cancer? Right? I worry about breast cancer. I worry about vaginal cancer. So but not lung cancer. So at that time, I didn't know. And even with that, nowadays, when I tell people that I have lung cancer, eventually the question will come up is, did you smoke? Right? And even like my last time, recently I went to a orthopedics because I have some pain in my back. Even the doctor asked me if I had smoked. And I said, no, I was never a smoker. But that, to me, now that I'm aware of that, if you have lung, you can have lung cancer.
Yeah.
So the question, whether you're a smoker or not, it can be, I can understand if it's for treatment, treatment option, if it makes a difference. But if it's not a difference in the treatment, then what is the question? Why is it relevant? Now, if we all have lung, and at some point, we can see that now that lung cancer affects people at young age, whether they smoke or they don't smoke. I've met survivor who has been diagnosed with lung cancer when they're 20, in their 20, 30, 40. So,
wow.
Yeah, so it's
being diagnosed for your husband and your 2 children. How was that for him?
I think, so first thing is he held me and he cried. But I think it's hard because I tell people he's my rock, because without him, I would be so lost. Because even though I think it's a lot of fear. It's a lot of fear in our spouse. When you're diagnosed, your spouse is and we all have this fear of how much time we have left.
Yes.
And what our future is going to be like. So for him, I say he has blinder on because he just thinks that you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. You're going to be fine. He keeps telling me. And I think that helps me because, I'm like, at some point I believe him. Yes. And I need that rock. I need that stability. All these thoughts that come to our mind, what our tomorrow is going to be like. For my children, I try to keep things as normal as possible for them.
Yeah.
Because, it's harder for my older one because I think they have different personality, but the older one is very emotional. She cries a lot. And she, at some point, it's hard for her to talk about what would happen to me.
Yeah.
And, but we're I focus. I just when I was diagnosed, I sat them down. I didn't want to tell them over the phone because my daughter was at college or
Mm-hmm.
at school. I wanted her to come home and set him down and say, and I want to focus on, yes, I'm diagnosed with this, but I'm getting treatment and I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay and I'm going to be here for you guys. As much, just kind of assure them that, I'll be here,
Yeah.
and I don't want to be disruptive to their life, right? Because that's what parents do, right?
Yeah. And how, I think I met you at the place where you actually told them about it. So how did you tell them? Let me show everyone your beautiful family who loves to travel, and you guys love to have so much fun together.
We do.
And I mean, you're just a beautiful family. So when you sat them down, did you sit them down at home? Um, how did you do it?
I wait for my daughter to come home.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and, just tell them that I've been diagnosed
Mm-hmm.
cancer and it's lung cancer. And there was a lot of tears. There was a lot of tears. But mommy's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Mommy's, we're gonna be strong as a family, and we're gonna deal with this. And I'm getting treatment, so know that I'm being treated. I'm being taken care of by and I mean, there's gonna be time when I might not be so well, but
Mommy's gonna be okay.
yeah.
Yeah. And the reason why I asked you that, because a lot of families don't know how to tell their children or when to tell them their children, and understanding if you have multiple children, they have different personalities.
Yes.
And knowing that, okay, with this one, I need to make sure that this is here for them, and I need to make sure this support is here for them, or I need to think a little bit about what's going on. So I really commend you on knowing that your children are two different people, right? And they need your love, your support, but they also need to be supported in their way that makes sense to them. So that's the reason why I asked that question again. And you have a couple of friends on right now that is talking about how beautiful your family is. And Toma, what a beautiful family. And Toma Hargrave, who has been on here, and we celebrate you every time I talk to her. I'm like, have you talked to her? Have you talked to Phuong? What's going on? And the fact that we all connected in different ways. And let's talk about how we met. We met because I was volunteering at Healing Pines Respite. It was my first little volunteer for them. And you came in and there was just something about you, because you didn't stay the night there, right?
No.
So,
because I was where we were I was local, so I figure I can just commute.
mhm,
It was in Raleigh, and I was in Cary at that time.
mhm.
So I did not stay the night, but I was there for all activities.
All activities. And we had for me, it was such a blessing. And even though that we had a lot of young women who were going through in the midst of their treatment, it was such an overwhelming process, but so beautiful. And when you walked in, I was sitting there and I was just like, okay, I have to connect with her. I have to connect with you. And we did connect.
We did, and I still remember the day. I was just kind of taking the sun at the pool, and you came by and you said, "Hey, you want to go for a walk?" And I think that's when our friendship started, and
Mhm.
it was a wonderful walk, and we just kind of connect, and we stay connected since.
Yeah.
And you were helping and volunteering. I think that was a beautiful thing that you were doing.
Oh, I love working with Healing Pines Respite, Jessica and Katarina. I know the support that I needed when I was first diagnosed, and it wasn't necessarily there. So I had to find it and search it. And when I said that I was gonna give back. After I get through whatever I'm going through, I want to give back. And that's some of the things that you've been doing, giving back and making sure that there's research out there, because we're talking about living with cancer. And you know you're a rock star because I Googled you. When you was like, well, what are we going to talk about? And when I Googled your name, I was like, oh, we have so much to talk about. Tell us a little bit about these organizations right here that you volunteer for or speak about and advocate.
So, you mentioned that, when you were diagnosed, you wanted to find other to connect. And that was kind of my same situation. When I was diagnosed, I feel lost. I feel like I needed to find other survivor, others that are going through the same thing that I'm dealing with, so that I know that there's other survivor out there. So I did this weird thing when I went on the internet and just Googled lung cancer of North Carolina. And I came up, and they had their gala was that weekend. So I crashed their gala, basically.
That's how we do it.
I showed up on a Saturday, and I had no idea what I was walking into. And I knew that event was going on that day, that time, just on internet search. And I asked my husband to go there and just drop me off and let me just walk in and see what's going on. I walked in, and it was their gala. There's LCI gala. And I remember meeting that time Ron. And Ron just kind of he called himself Uncle Ron. And he welcomed me with a hug and said, Phuong, I'm a survivor. We can do this. And he gave me such a great hope, because there's a man standing there. He's 3 years surviving, and I can do it. I can. And there was no other survivor there celebrating, So, I mean, there was a lot of tears again, when I walk in, and LCI, Sandy, people, all those, that was I don't remember all the name, but they welcomed me with open arms, and they said, do you want to stay? You're welcome to stay. But I said, no, I won't go that far. I know that you're here. I will continue. And I put my name down. And ever since, I've been, in touch and connected with LCI, and I I advocate for LCI. I go to the event, the fundraising, the 5K, and I hope that we can do that again soon with LCI, in person, because it's such a great event. And LCI gives hope because for lung cancer survivor, because we, with LCI, I connected with our survivor.
Yes.
And, they are doing such great things. Research funding for all the local university, and we get seminars. Survivor get to attend seminar to talk about new treatment, and so they're doing. LCI is a great foundation, and I am blessed that it's in my neighborhood, like in my backyard.
Yes.
In my backyard. And then the other event. So one of the picture is with Dr. Garsh. Is that was one of the event, the 5K that we do for fundraising every year. The other one is I attended a conference with longevity in DC, and that was for survivor. It's in a way for survivor to get connected, and that's national, or I think it's national. Yeah, that's national. And I attended that maybe a couple years before COVID, and in a way, you meet other survivor nationally, and there's a lot of opportunity to learn about all the research that's out there, what's the latest treatment, and they do great things for lung cancer survivor. And I definitely would continue, just connecting with them and, to learn what's.
Research is so important. You said that you are, you're a researcher, right?
Yes.
So you know how important research is. And I think I read, because again, you have many videos out there, many articles about Duke Institute. I believe that you did some work with advocating to our lawmakers as well.
Oh yeah.
I told you I looked you up.
That was my recent involvement with American Lung Association,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that was one of their program where it's called Lung Force, and that is advocating for funding for the NIH and CDC. We advocate for funding. There was a 4.46.1 billion for NIH and 10 something billion for CDC. So we meet with our congressmen and congresswomen. This year it was virtual because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, they do it in person in DC every year. Because of COVID, it was all virtual. And I represent North Carolina. Each state has 2 representatives that advocate for these funding for these institutions that invest in research, invest in research and development. And I was proud to be part of the team. There were great people on the team. There was many of us, but we got to talk to our congressmen and women that for me was North Carolina, and to ask for these funding. And I think it went really well. Also, they also advocate for the healthcare, the affordable, effective healthcare, and that was something that's also it's been approved. So,
And there we go. That was the article that I read.
I bet I did. It was my memories is like some clips of it.
That's why we have the internet.
Yeah.
Whatever you do is always going to live on and be up there forever. But yep, says Durham woman with lung cancer talks about and navigates the lawmakers. It is so important because everybody thinks breast cancer is the leading cancer of, people dying from breast cancer. And that's not true.
No. Lung cancer accounts for all the top 3 cancer combined, and I cannot believe that statistic, but it is true. And in top 3 cancer combined. Lung cancer account for more death than the top 3 cancer combined. And why are we not talking about it? Why are there not enough funding for this?
Yes, it's so true. Toma was on last year, and she talked about it, and she said that you were actually a coworker, the neighbor. So amazed that Phuong was a coworker with my neighbor. Such a small world.
It was. I can't believe that because
she does a lot of advocating, and when she talked about it, I was just like, "There's just not enough." When you go, you don't even know what month lung cancer resides in, and it's the month of November, right?
Yeah.
So just making sure that we talk about it, we advocate for it. Like the funding needs to be there. It needs to be there. And James and Tasha says support means a lot, and having a positive spirit like both of us helps others in their journey. It is so true. And she wants to thank you ladies for a lovely personality. And thank you so much, James and Tasha. I really do appreciate you. She's always on. She is a nurse. She is a caregiver, and she understands what happens behind the scenes. And it's important that we reach the audience like this. But advocating, talking about the stigma, what are some things that people can do to help people live with cancer? What kind of research? What can we do? How do we donate? We put a donate button on this live right here, but what else can we do?
I missed the last part of what you said. I think
So what can we do to help let people know about lung cancer and that we need to support the efforts of research, not just for breast cancer, but all the cancers that are out there. But lung cancer has this stigma with it, and we need to make sure that we're supporting you and everyone else that's going through right now.
I think you'll spread the word, spread the word that if you have lung, you can have lung cancer.
Yes.
And if we start to get that awareness out there, then I think the stigma may go away. And, I feel like for funding for research is, if we know lung cancer kills more than the top 3 cancer combined. And just with that, I think people are more willing to just, if the awareness is there, then the funding will come along with it. And as a survivor, or non-survivor, or who don't have lung cancer, advocate for lung cancer, support lung cancer, because we are in so much need for it, for research, for early detection, for screening, not just for personally, I don't, right now we're screening for lung cancer, but for only people 55 and older who are smoker with X amount of pack a day.
Really?
Yes. Can we just have it screening for people just at a certain age? When we screen for breast cancer when we're 40.
Yeah.
That's the screening start. What is the route logic? I mean, for me still is, why do we only screen not a smoker?
I didn't even know that. And when he says, "Hi, Regina, just want to commend Phuong for using her voice." Yes, definitely. Your voice and journey to bring awareness. You are a catalyst to change. He said, "You are so brave." Do you know this person right here?
She's my sister. She's biased.
Oh, since we're talking about family real quick, I want to say that your family is so awesome. And I want to make sure that I showcase one of my favorite pictures of you and your husband. Even though your backs are turned, I absolutely love these pictures. Like, and tell your husband, I can't fit his jacket, but I still want it.
He would be so proud, so happy to hear that.
I absolutely love that jacket. And just seeing your friends, your family, your daughters, you guys are so tight knit, and it's so amazing that just recently you just got back from a vacation. Where were you at?
We went, my husband and I and my brother and his wife we went to Cancun. And I did this after we were vaccinated, and I timed it out after we were fully vaccinated. I said, I'm going to book this trip. We haven't gone anywhere for like a year and a half or 2 years. We're going to do it. So we went to Cancun for like 4 nights. It was, I had such a good time. And, I met a girlfriend today, and she's also lung cancer. And we went out for lunch today. And, I told her this. I said, we talk about our vacation, and then of course the Cancun vacation came up. And she went to Hawaii, so she did great too. And, we talked about when we do a survivor of any cancer, when we go on vacation, it seemed like the cancer stopped. Like we don't have cancer. For that 4 day, cancer doesn't come up because, it's when you're home, you got to deal with the scan, you got to deal with the symptom. But when I'm on vacation, it seemed like because I don't have to deal with cancer. Whatever it is, it's going to be on hold until I get home. Yeah. So during that vacation time, I feel like I don't have cancer. And what a great feeling that is.
It's a beautiful feeling, and I could see in all your pictures how wonderful. I was like, wait a minute, she's gone? Where'd she go? She went without me. But I agree. I am trying my best to put something in place where I can get away with family. I can get away with my girls and my husband, and then get away with just just my husband and I, so we can hang out and
Mhm.
find a way to get together as family, because you guys again really know how
That's
to
all
get
that's my
together
family.
and enjoy yourself. How did COVID affect you?
It definitely. I was very stressed. You know, trying the beginning of 2020 didn't do much. You know, we're very stay indoors, stay home. I remember the first few times that I actually did go to the grocery store. I had a mask on, I had gloves on, I was running through the grocery store and like sweating at one point because I was so stressed that I have to do this and I'm gonna get COVID when I'm out. And I know because with lung cancer, it would be bad. I'm thinking it's
Yeah.
bad if I get COVID. So no, I stay home. Did the minimum, just go out when it's necessary.
Mhm.
Told my husband he had to still go to work, but I'm like, you have to change when you get home.
Mhm.
You have to wash, basically wash your hands. So we took all the measure to be safe, but I went to the doctor. I did not cancel my appointment because I know
That's good.
some survivor or patient does have are fearful that if they go
Mhm.
into the office they might. So I did mask up and gloves on and go to the doctor, but that was it. I didn't clean my teeth for a year. Just went to the just all
Like I have my dentist appointment next week.
didn't
I was
cut my
like,
hair. Didn't cut my hair for a year. So basically, only go to my oncologist. Go and see my oncologist and the scan, and that was
mhm.
it. And then, things when we got vaccinated, then things kind of we did more. Like I would do outdoor. Like I still walk. Didn't
Mhm.
cancel my gym membership. I'm like not going to the gym.
Yeah.
Um,
We were
we
supposed to get together at the gym. My girls were right up the street in Cary from where your gym was. And then COVID hit. I pulled
Mhm.
them out. And then we were supposed to get in the park and maybe do something in the park. And so I'm hoping to catch you on Friday because their grandmother will be here. So Grandma Bobby will be here. And so I'm hoping to catch you on Friday.
You let me
Um,
know.
so we can see each other from afar. One of the other things I want to make sure that I talk about is the healing part of it, whether mentally or physically. I want to talk about the healing process because you invited me to this wonderful 2 day, I think it was 2 days. Was it 2 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? And it really did help me when I returned home and I talked to my husband about it and I utilized some of the things that we learned in class. Do you remember what that was?
Yes. That is called healing touch,
Yes.
and that uh, changed my life. I'm telling you, it changed
Yes.
my first experience with it was when I joined Wind River for a retreat that they had, and it was I want to say probably 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
My first retreat with them was in Raleigh, and one of the program they had was Healing Touch, and I had no clue what Healing Touch is. I'm like, interesting. Let's find out what it is, right? And
Yeah.
then I met Shirley, right? She, and every time I talk about it, it kind of gives chills to my body because I'm like, is this thing real? Is it real?
Mm-hmm.
But I had no clue what it is. I have no clue, but she is great. She taught us what is it all about and how we can tap into this energy that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And my first experience with it, she's like, okay, we have this energy around us, start feeling it. And, but my ultimate experience was when she's like, who wants to volunteer for a personal healing touch with me? I said, me. And I was a lucky one that I got to had a session. I had a session with her and we were in the park.
Mm-hmm.
and it was open. She's like, "Oh, you want to sit or you want to lay down?" I'm like, "I'm gonna lay down. Just take everything in, open to anything and anything, everything that you can share with me." So she did this thing where she just basically kind of scanned your body, but not touching your body. And when she did this scanning, just like hand motion over your body, she said, "I'm wiping your energy, I'm cleaning you out and healing you." And she never touched us. And you went through it. So the second time we went was when I invited you, because that's my second experience. And I'm like, I want more of this. Whatever it is, I want more. So I invited you and we went to Charlotte. But basically she scanned your body with just a hand motion, wiping this negative energy off of you. But after she did all that, I had tears running down my eyes. And I was like, why am I crying? Why am I? Because I opened my eyes and the sky was so beautiful. It's like so blue. It's like this blue color that I've never seen. I'm like, I couldn't believe it. But I'm like, if I'm feeling this way, there's something that I don't understand. And there's something that I'm feeling and I'm open to it. So that was my first experience. And I knew that there's more to this. And that's why we went on to have the second session in Charlotte, and that was more extensive because it was a 2-day session, and we did all kind of technique. We did all kind of, and you were there, so you can. But we feel things that we didn't think that we could, right? And then there was, after those sessions, you just feel so much like lighter, happier. You feel like you've been healed for this. So, and we take it with us. I take it with me. So, Regina, when I feel bad at night sometime, and I don't do it all the time, but today I put my hand on my lung and I said, heal, use this energy to heal me. And we don't know, I can't tell you, I can't guarantee with you if it's doing anything, but I feel something. And so if it's helping me feel better in that one moment, why not?
Yes.
Right.
I was so happy that you invited me because you were like, the sky is going to be bluer. Like, Regina, you just don't understand. And I was telling my husband, hey, I'm going to Healing Touch. Wind River has this retreat. I met this lady at another retreat. I'm going to follow her. I brought my girls down. I let their cousins watch them for the day. And we come in, we take off our shoes. Of course, I have to spill my coffee because, that's just who I am. We take off our shoes. We go into this quiet place and we talk about energy. We talk about the negative effects of energy. And when bad energy comes in your space, when someone's around you and you're just not feeling them. And when she started to explain it to me, I was like, okay. She's like, well, how do we remove that? And we had the chance to work on multiple people. And not just, we had a chance to work with techniques. We work with ourselves, and we had to work with someone we didn't know. And we had nurses in there.
Yes.
That say, hey, these are the things that I'm working on because I have patients who are in pain, who are dying, and I just want the good energy around them. And how do I do that? So I was like, okay, we have nurses in here doing this. So it's not just us. There was a couple of people who were had cancer or battling cancers that were survivors or thrivers or living through cancer. And I'm telling you, when I came home and my little girl, Alex, with her little energy that wants to go everywhere. At night, I would just be like, I'm sweeping this energy away. I'm clearing out this energy. And I remember I either called you or I text someone. It's like, it's working. She's going to sleep. And it's like, I'm not touching her. I'm just making sure that my energy is good. Her energy is good. And they're going to sleep. And it was so important for me not to just go there, but actually use what I learned to heal myself. Because meditation, yoga, finding things that bring you joy. We were talking about your ginger tea, not the packet ginger tea.
So, I was drinking this tea and Regina's like, what are you drinking? So it's basically fresh ginger that I blend and freeze. And so whenever I need a warm drink and I need non-caffeine because it's late at night, just pop that ginger with some hot water and you get ginger tea, and that's just kind of warm your body, helps with digestion, just relaxes you for the evening. And Winnie, that my sister's on there, I gave you some ginger last weekend, so use it.
Well, I need some ginger on Friday when I see you.
I'll bring you some ginger.
But the healing, the mental, the physical, volunteering, giving back. Like Toma talks about, the White Ribbon Project is a huge awareness campaign that's going on right now. Like, you Googled and found the gala and went. You can find anything. James and Tasha, they talk about volunteer help spread the word and support people, make a difference. What you're doing is making a difference, talking to the lawmakers. You made a difference in my life. My husband came in and he was like, you're just smiling. And I was like, you don't understand. It's my friend.
Your smile is infectious too.
Thank you so much. And how we met, and just taking that walk and getting to know each other, because that was my first time volunteering for that nonprofit. But that give back that we get and the things that we did there, like we were playing with clay. We're doing the clay. Did we do yoga at this one?
We did.
So we did yoga. The food was amazing. The people were amazing. Umstead, that's the name of the place.
Right. Umstead, yeah.
Beautiful place. Yeah, and they treated us so well, and they wanted to give us all the wine in the world, but we were like, look, this is a non-alcoholic event. A lot of the guests wanted to give back to us, and they just gave us our space. And having that weekend, having the weekend with Healing Touch, those things mean a lot to people who are going through and are trying to heal within, right? Because we're talking about, you said living with cancer is so important, but how do we live with it and still live? And that's what I want people to know. When you're diagnosed and you hear those words, whether it's lung cancer, breast cancer, it's still cancer. And we need to talk about that. So Thomas said there are personal contacts that can make all of the difference in survivorship. It's so true. Thomas is one of my other favorite people. I think she's a rock star too. Like, I'm surrounded by all these rock stars.
She is a rock star. I remember the first day I met Toma, and it was a luncheon with LCI, and she came to me and she said, "Can I be your mother?" You can be my other mother, because I do have a mother. But she is my idol. She is doing everything that a survivor is doing. She is thriving. She is positive. I love her. I love her energy. Toma, there's days that I remind myself that if Toma's doing it, I can do it.
Yeah.
And honestly, there's days that I need that. I need, I need to look up to people who are doing these things and say, if they're doing it, they can get it. I can. And whether I can or not, I got someone to look up to and look at to say there are survivors out there that are doing well. If they can, then you can too. And, it's definitely suck to have cancer. Honestly, cancer sucks.
Yes.
But, when we're given this card, what can we do? Just live our best moment, live our best life, and do what you can to help others and help yourself, right? And if that is learning healing touch, with a friend like Regina, who I will have lunch with Friday, and just that one, smile, that one moment, I think makes a difference, and the connection makes the difference. And that's why I love LCI. I love just meeting survivor and connecting with others, and it's just how it's just this is my game, my plan. This is my plan how to I beat to cancer. It's just being positive and believe that we can we can do it. We
We can
can.
do it.
We,
Or Reggie the Tree says, stay encouraged, both of you. Thank you for this. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I want to thank you, my friend, for coming on and sharing your story and sharing your gift with so many people. You have inspired me. You continue to inspire your family. And you are just like amazing is not the word for it. You're more than that. Um, you're definitely a dear friend of mine, and I'm so happy that you came on to share your story. Now, is there anything that you would like to tell our millions of listeners out there before we end our show, because we're almost at the top of the hour? And guys, if you have anything anything that you would like to ask or comment on, please do. And even after the live is over with, that seems to be when we get all our reviews, all our comments. Just let us know. But what would you like to say to people? Again, you can have lungs. If you have lungs, you can get lung cancer. So what would you like to say to the audience?
well, first, I want to thank you, Regina, and your audience for the opportunity for me to share my story. And as a lung cancer survivor, I say this: I don't ask for a cure for my lifetime, but I can ask to live with lung cancer. So please help me advocate for research, for more treatment for lung cancer, for more effective treatment, screening, early screening, detection, so we can save life. You
And we have to get the early screening where we're not waiting until we're 55 and they're asking, hey, were you a smoker at
know?
55? Why
Yes.
can't we have it where, okay, you get screened just like any other cancer? It's standard. So we got to go into the lawmaker's office. We have to make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to make sure that we continue to volunteer, donate, and give our gifts and share our time.
Yes.
So I want to thank you so much. Stay backstage. Don't go anywhere. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. I'm so happy that Winnie, Toma, Reggie, everybody from Tasha to Tasha Prescott, Mike, all you guys who've come on and you've shared your time with us. Please share this video as well. We want to make sure that we do donate and we do give, because lung cancers, you heard her, right? Combine 3 cancers all together. We need to make sure that we're supporting each other in this fight. And I want to thank everybody for coming on. And just remember, guys, that the glow doesn't define me, I define the glow. And we're also going to make sure that we donate, give back to Making Strides Against Breast Cancer, to the Lung Cancer Society. We want to make sure that we research, give, hit that donate button. I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Again, just remember, again, we have to define our own glow. Thanks. Bye.